Look, bro, stop overplaying your part. Simple as that. Stop doing too much. Stop trying to, be there for everybody that's not there for you. Stop stepping into roles that you aren't meant to be in. Stop stepping in the roles that you aren't meant to carry. Stop doing everything for everybody. Like, you're not gonna be able to do that. Just stop overplaying your part. You gotta start trusting people. You gotta start, trusting people instead of controlling them. Because like I've always said, you cannot control everybody. You can't control every situation. You can't control everything. You know what I'm saying? There's things that you can control and there's things that you can't control. So why try to control everything? You're only going to send yourself in a spiral. You're only going to stress yourself out even more than you might already be stressed out. So there's real power in trusting and not controlling. You might be saying, like, what does it mean to overplay your part, bro? The first thing is trying to be everything for everybody. You cannot be everything for everybody, bro. Like, sometimes they're gonna have to go out there and get something on their own or do something on their own. And you gotta do the same thing in your life. So why try to be everything for a person? Why try to be everything for everybody? Like, that's impossible. That's part of the controlling thing. Like, you cannot control everything. So why even try to? Why? Like, just focus on what you can control. Focus on the things you can control. And the things that are out of your control, bro, like, let them just be whatever they're gonna be, good or bad. Good or bad. Like, let them be whatever they're gonna be. And the second one is, you're trying to force outcomes instead of just flowing in your purpose. Whatever God has in store for you, whatever God's plan is for you, is what's gonna happen. Like, simple as that. Flat out, that's what's gonna happen. So why try to force an outcome that's not meant for you? Why try to force an outcome that is, not meant to be in your life anymore? And for example, this could be, relationship wise, you go through a breakup or somebody leaves you, somebody goes out and cheats, whatever. They're not in your life no more, bro. Why do you keep trying to force this person to come back when they're not even meant to flow in your purpose? They're not even meant to be in your journey or in your process or in your plan, whatever you want to call it. They're not meant to be there. So why try to keep forcing this outcome that's not meant to happen? And I'm a victim of this, bro. Like, I'm sure we've all been a victim of this before. Like, we're trying to force these people to stay in our life, or we're trying to force an outcome that's not meant to happen. Like, that's not good for us. So why do we keep trying to force it? We can't control that. That's God's control. Like, that's out of our control. We can't control what that person does in their free time or where they go. Like, we can't control that. So why do we keep trying to control it? Why do we keep trying to force outcomes that are not meant to happen? Like, we got to stop overplaying our part. Like, whatever that person wants to do, let them go do it. Like, simple as that. Let go and let God. I talked about that before. Let go and just let God work. Let go and trust and know that God is going to bring something better. Like, simple as that. Just stop overplaying your part. And the third one is, we're constantly over explaining. We're over apologizing. We're overcompensating for somebody that's not even giving us half that energy back or half that time back or half that effort back. I'm a victim of this too. Like, I like to, not like, but I over explain myself a lot when, the person or the people I over explain myself to don't even deserve that energy that I'm giving them. I'm wasting my energy explaining to you and you're not even listening half the time, or you're not even comprehending what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So why do I overplay my part and give you all this energy or give you all this time when it's basically just wasted energy and time because you're not listening to me, or you're not giving me what I'm giving you. You know what I'm saying? So why do I keep overplaying that part? Why do I keep giving you this energy or just wasting my energy on you when you're not even there for me or you're not listening to me or whatever you want to say, bro? So, that's part of overplaying your part, or that's part of what it means to overplay your part is over explaining, over apologizing, over compensating. Like, we got to stop doing that. If these people don't deserve that energy, if these people don't deserve that time that we want to give them, bro, like, we don't got to give it to them. Like, we got to stop giving it to them. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop overplaying our part. We got to stop doing too much. We got to stop stepping in the roles that is not ours to carry or that are not ours to carry. And the fourth one is, we got to stop acting like everything depends on us. And then when we act like that, bro, we burn out because of it. Like, not everything depends on us. Like I said, God's plan is God's plan at the end of the day. What God wants to happen is going to happen at the end of the day. So why do we act like whatever happens in life, or, whatever happens in a person's life that we're friends with, depends on us? Like it doesn't. We got to control the things that we can control. And yeah, some of our life is going to depend on that. Like, yes, it is. But we cannot burn ourselves out thinking and acting like everything is dependent on us, because it's not. It's not. We control the things we can control. We do the things we know we need to do. And, the outcome of those things, yeah, that depends on us. But not everything does. Not everything in this world, not every little situation that we go through depends on the decisions we make, depends on the work we put in. Like, not everything depends on us. So why are we burning ourselves out? Why are we overplaying our role, acting like everything depends on us when at the end of the day it doesn't? Like simple as that, it does not depend on us, bro. Like we gotta realize that. We gotta come to that conclusion that not everything depends on us, because it doesn't. Like I said, God's plan is God's plan at the end of the day. What He wants to happen is gonna happen. So when we trust that and when we have faith in that, we're gonna bring ourselves that peace of knowing that not everything depends on us, because it doesn't. And a lot of people overplay their part because they have this fear of being misunderstood or being unseen. We overplay our part because we want to be seen. We overplay our part because we want to be understood. When, like, we don't always got to be understood all the time, bro. We don't always got to be seen all the time. And it took me a moment to realize this, where I always wanted to be, at the center, if that makes sense. I always wanted to be understood. I always wanted to be seen, until I realized, like, not everybody in this world is meant to understand you. Not everybody in this world is meant to see you in the light that you want them to see you. So we just gotta, kind of bottle that up in a way, and just know that the right people are gonna find us. The right people that are meant to be in our life, that are meant to be on our purpose, are gonna find us at some point. And it may take trials and tribulations. Like, there's gonna be people that come in and out. There's gonna be people that leave. There's gonna be people that come. Like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of times where we think that this person understands us, or we think that this person sees us, and then at the end of the day they don't. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop overplaying our part and stop wasting all these energy on people that are not, understanding us, that are not seeing us in the light that we want to see. And we have insecurities that make us play or overplay this part too. Like, we're trying to prove our worth instead of just walking in, or instead of just walking in it. My bad. We're trying to prove our worth instead of just knowing that we are worth it. You know what I'm saying? We trying to prove our worth instead of just knowing that, yeah, like, I'm that guy, I'm that girl, like, I'm worth it. Like, I am good enough. Like, we got to walk in that. We got to know that every time we take a step, or every time we meet a new person. And if that person we're meeting is not understanding that, like, they got to go. Simple as that. Like, there's no reason that we should have to prove our worth to somebody. There's no reason that we should have to prove that we're good enough to somebody. Like, if they don't understand that, if they don't see that, like, they can go, bro. And then another one is control. Like, we think if we do more, that things are going to go right. We think if we overplay our part, then things are going to go right. We think that if we try to force an outcome, that things are going to go right. But the truth is about that, bro, like, if we try to force things, if we try to control things, if we try to do more, overplay our part, like, everything's going to go wrong. Like, nothing's going to go right, because we're trying to force something that's not meant to be. We're trying to force something that's not in our purpose. We're trying to force something that's not, in God's plan for us, or in God's path for us. So we got to just stop trying to control everything. And I know that's hard, bro. Like, I know we always want to be in control. I know we always want to move the chess pieces or move the checkers pieces so that we like them, so that everything goes right in, our perspective. But at the end of the day, like, we cannot do that. We don't have control over everything. We don't. Like, simple as that. And we got to stop trying to people please, bro. Like, we got to stop trying to make people comfortable at our own expense. We got to stop trying to make people comfortable even when we're uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? We got to make ourselves comfortable first. We got to put ourselves first. If we're not good, then why are we trying to make somebody else, or make sure somebody else is good? If we're not okay up here, then why are we trying to help somebody else? We got to put ourselves first. And I know that it's hard also, especially for the people with big hearts. Like, we want everybody to be okay. We want everybody to be straight, even if we're not, even if we're not okay. But I had to come to realize, like, bro, like, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I talked about this before. Like, you cannot put energy into somebody if we don't even got the energy to do it. You know what I'm saying? We can't help somebody up here if we're not even right up here. We can't help somebody in the gym if we don't even know the technique to lift it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to put ourselves first and stop trying to people please. Like we can't overplay our part and make sure somebody's good when we're not even good. You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to make other people comfortable or other people good if we're not even good. Stop trying to make other people comfortable at your own expense, bro. Because when we start to do that, like there's consequences that come with overplaying our part. There's consequences that come when we start to do too much. Like we start to lose clarity. Like we get to a point where we don't even know what we're doing anymore. We get to a point where we lose ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we keep pouring into these people. We keep overplaying our part of these people. We keep putting energy into these people to where we don't even know who we are anymore. We don't even know what we like to do, what we love anymore. We're so fed up into this person or that person and what they got going on when we don't even focus on what we're doing or what we got going on or where we want to be, what our goals are. So when we start to do too much or we start to, overplay our part, we start to lose clarity and we start to attract the imbalance, whether that be unhealthy relationships, whether that be unfair expectations, whether that be, unfair environments. Like we start to think that pouring everything that we got into this person and not focusing on us is the way to go. That's the unhealthy relationship part. Like we think that we're supposed to be treated this way. We think that we're supposed to give everything we got to this person and not receive nothing in return. Like that's what happens when we start to do too much. That's what happens when we start to, overplay our part. Like it brings these unfair expectations in relationships and friendships, that really aren't supposed to happen. Like I said, we think that we're not worth it. We think that we're not good enough. So we just start to let people walk all over us. Like that's not the way to go, bro. You got to stand up for yourself. You got to walk and know that you're worth it. You got to walk and know that you're good enough. And if these people aren't treating you that way, if these people aren't seeing that, bro, like they can go find somebody else. They can go do whatever they want to do because we know that we're good enough, because we know that we're worth it, because we know our standards, our values. We got to keep them in check all the time. We got to keep them up here all the time. But we can't do that if we keep overplaying our part. We can't do that if we keep pouring everything we got into people and not getting nothing in return. Just wasting all our energy on them. And another thing is when we start doing too much, bro, we start to lose our peace because we're always performing. We start to lose our peace because we're always trying to control something. We're trying to, be there for this person, be there for that person, when we're not even there for ourselves, like I talked about earlier. And when we do that, we're losing our peace that way. Like I said, when you try to control everything, bro, like you simply and literally cannot control everything. So when you try to control the things that you can't control, you're going to lose your peace. You're going to have nothing but stress. You're going to have nothing but frustration. You got to control the things you can control and let God do the rest. Let God work on everything else. Let God move the pieces to everything else that you can't control. You're going to lose your peace if you try to control everything. You're going to lose your peace if you try to do too much or you try to overplay your part, because you're always trying to perform. You're always trying to put on a show for people. You're always trying to force outcomes that aren't meant to happen, bro. Like simple as that. And the last consequence is, bro, you start to silence your true self by trying to be enough for others. That's what I talked about a little bit earlier. Like when you're pouring so much into somebody else, when you're putting all your energy, all your effort into somebody else and not focusing on you, you're going to silence your true self because you're trying to be enough for somebody else. You're trying to prove your worth for somebody else, then you're going to lose, what you really got inside you. Like you're going to lose that worth. You're going to lose that being good enough because you don't even view yourself in that light anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to pour everything else into this person and you're not even focused on you. Like in relationships and friendships, you still got to put yourself first at times. You know what I'm saying? You still got to put yourself first and make sure you're okay before you pour from an empty cup or before you try to put energy into somebody that you don't got. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you're good, whether that be mentally, whether that be physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like you got to make sure you're okay first before anything else. Like you got to put you first. And I got a video coming out on that soon that talks about, putting you first and you coming first and whatever it may be. But like you cannot silence your true self, you know, because you're trying to be enough for somebody else, because you're trying to prove your worth to somebody else. Like I've said a million times in this video, like if they don't see that, if they don't understand that you're worth it and you're enough, then what are you doing with that person, or what are you doing around that person? What are you doing bonding with that person? They don't even think that you're worth it. They don't even think that you're enough, bro. And when you try to prove that to them, you just gonna lose yourself. That's it. So if they're not understanding that, bro, like I've said for the 100th time, like they gotta go. They gotta go. But things start to shift when you realize that all you gotta do is simply just play your role and let go of the rest. Like that's it. That's when things start to shift. That's when things start to change. Like just play the role that you're given and let go of the rest. Let God work on the rest. Whatever happens, happens. Just play your role. Just control the things that you can control. Because at the end of the day, yes, your role is important. Your part is important, but your part is not everything. Your role is not everything. You're not the general manager. You know what I'm saying? You're just a player on the team. You're just the coach. You don't control everything. You know what I'm saying? You can control your part. You put energy and time into your part. Like your part is important, yes, but your part is not everything. You can't control everything. You got to trust others to carry their side of the bargain. You got to trust others to carry their weight. You got to put your faith in God, and you got to trust God and know that he's going to do his part because he always is. Always. But you still got to trust, the other humans around you or the other people around you. And you got to trust time. You got to trust the process. You got to trust God. Like, you got to trust that others are going to carry their weight. And not just, humans. Like I said, you got to trust time. Time changes a lot. Time changes a lot of things. You got to trust the process. There's going to be journeys. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be hills and valleys. You got to trust even through those times. Even through the good and bad times, you got to trust. And you got to let silence, you got to let patience, you got to let peace speak louder than your efforts sometimes. Like it's more than just human to human interaction. You got to trust everything around it. You got to trust every single aspect of it, bro. And simply just play your role. Like let everything else work out how it's going to work out. Just play your role. Simple as that. Play your role, play your part. Because at the end of the day, bro, you are not responsible for everybody's happiness. You're not responsible for everybody's peace. You're not responsible for everybody's joy. Stop trying to script the whole play out when you were only meant to, play your part. Stop trying to script the whole play out when you were only meant to shoot the ball at the end of the play. Like, put that in perspective for the athletes. Like, stop trying to make up this whole play or write the whole play out when you're only meant to pass the ball or you're only meant to shoot the ball. Just play your role. Play your part. Like, overplaying your part is doing nothing for you. It's only making you feel worse. It's only making you stressed. It's only making you lose yourself. That's it. Stop overplaying your part. Play your role. Let go of the rest. Control the things that you can control and let God and let, the environment, let the world, let society play out everything else. That's it. Just play your role. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this video, go hit that sub button on the way to 400 subs. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one.